This is a video I've wanted to do for a while, and it comes down to 2 years ago we had just a nasty ice storm in the area, and it caused us to be without power for 7 days. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how this little inverter generator can power my home and how I do that when there is a power outage. So I want to talk a little bit about the equipment I've got. And first, I had this plug right over here that was supposed to be a 50 amp plug for an RV case. Instead, I repurposed that wire and I bought this 50 amp rated generator inlet from Amazon. And I've got the inlet all wired up and ready to go. At the other end, in my panel, I purchased an interlock kit from Amazon. So right down here, this is called an interlock kit. And I'll have a description and a link for it down below. Essentially, you cannot operate the generator, and this is where my 50 amp breaker is for that inlet. You cannot operate the generator even if you had it plugged in and connected and the generator was switched on, because this interlock keeps it from switching on into the on position. Instead, you have to disconnect power, and that's simply to make sure that your connected, grid connected home isn't backfeeding energy during a power outage and electrocuting any workers that happen to be at your power line. First, I am definitely not an electrician, so go consult one yourself. But essentially, to use this interlock, I am going to disconnect from the grid, so switching off my main breaker here, which then drops this whole interlock down, and then I can go ahead and switch to the on position. I'll show that to you in just a moment. Back over to equipment. If you haven't seen my video on this generator, this is the WEN 3800 inverter generator. I really like it for a couple reasons. The main two, it is really easy to service and do an oil change on it. And then the other main reason is it has a fuel shutoff, and so it'll drain the carburetor, keep the carburetor nice and clean. One thing I don't like about it is when I have this up in December doing some elk hunting, I don't enjoy getting myself out of the comfort of my covers and heading outside into the cold night at 3 o'clock in the morning to turn this on. So there is no remote switch, but you know, that's just me being a little grumpy in December at the early morning. Right over here, I got this off of Amazon as well. It's a NEMA 30R, so 30 amp RV plug. And then on the back side here, female connector is for a 50 amp RV plug. And this is what I'm going to use to plug in to the WEN. Then I've got 50 amp rated cord that'll plug in here. And generator inlet has prongs, and that is to protect you from electrocution. You're not touching some prongs from the generator immediately you're plugging into. So this goes and gets plugged straight in. Let's see if I can do it. Cool. There we go. So we got that connected. We'll connect this really quick. Now we're ready to go with the whole system set up. Now, as we head back to the panel, we're going to pretend that there's a power outage. So power is off. There is no power to the house. That drops the interlock down. Now I can switch over my breaker to the on position for that generator inlet. Before I do though, I want to take a look at what are my priorities during a power outage, because that generator that I have is only good for 3,800 watts. So things like dishwasher, range, microwave, furnace, probably keep that on, dryer, water heater. And we switch these all into the off position so that it can manage the load safely. And now once I prioritized my panels, I can go ahead and switch to the on position. Come back over to the generator. And once I get this started, it'll be back feeding and powering up the different parts of my house that I have prioritized. So you can see right here, there's quite a load that it's taken, about 35%, 40% of the load from the house, and looks like it just dropped down, so not much load. So it can handle quite a bit. Back up a little bit. It's nice and quiet as well. Once you get, I'm standing about 10 feet away from it right now. But it can power up any of those circuits that I had, no problem. And it's pretty fuel efficient as well. So that's what I do to have some energy, some power during a power outage, using this 3,800 watt wind generator.